So when we've been working together for a while and you are constantly talking about work as a system, could you talk a little bit more about what does that mean and how does the language of work capture that, I don't know what you would say, um, help me out here.
The systemic nature of work.
The systemic nature
Sure.
of work.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, in my career going back, one of the early things that I learned about stimulus response consequences is how things kind of occur. I mean, you do this, and this happens, then this happens. And if you do that, you can find out what's working well, it's not working well. Otherwise, a system. And one of the things, interestingly enough, that I was taught very early, which really helped me a great deal, I think can be a benefit to you as well, is the notion of a thermostat and how that works. Because that's really a system which, in essence, says that the room is at a certain temperature and you want it to be to another temperature. So you set the thermostat in such a way that there's a little thermometer, to make it basic, in there, where when the temperature reaches a certain point, it kicks on the furnace or the air conditioner, as it might be, and that will bring the temperature up to another level, and then it reads that again and turns it off. So that's a system, because one thing leads to another, which leads to another. Well, the same thing is true in this work formula, the language of work. It's a real system. In fact, it embodies what they think of in terms of systems thinking, in this sense, that work essentially is initiated because we want to achieve something, a consequence. And to do that, we need to produce certain kinds of outputs to achieve those consequences. So those two are linked. And that all gets started because somebody desires this output, this consequence to be achieved, let's say a customer. So that's an input to us. And that tells us to initiate some work through a process. And in order to initiate that process, we have to follow certain kinds of governance rules, what we call conditions. And as we're doing that work to achieve that output consequences, we're aided along the way through certain kinds of feedback. So this feedback, particularly in terms of systems thinking, systemic nature, that's very important too, because it really tells us, are we on the right track? Are we missing something? And ultimately, it tells us whether we're right or wrong. So all of those 6 elements are working together in like a thermostat, almost in a set, as in a behavioral kind of way to explain what the work is and how to accomplish it.
Okay, and that makes it really clear.
Thank you.
Thank you.